Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're looking at some dark and stealthy weapons that would be perfect for nighttime use. But before we begin, if you just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So last week, I showed you guys some of the newest everyday carry weapons that we recently added to the KarateMart.com website. And then I asked you to go to the community tab and vote for which one you like best. And you guys went to the community tab and voted for the Jungle Combat Dagger. Excellent choice, guys. I absolutely love this knife. It was definitely my favorite, so excellent choice. So this week, I asked Amanda to go back into the warehouse and look for some of the newest dark and stealthy weapons that would be perfect for nighttime use. So at the end of this video, make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which one you like best. And as always, there's links in the description of the video so you can find out more information on each of these products. So without further ado, Amanda, what is our very first dark and stealthy weapon?
There you go.
Thank you. Let's see what this guy is. Oh, wow. All right, and our very first dark and stealthy weapon is the Midnight Tracker Karambit. Awesome, awesome. All right, so first off, we can see that it's got a really nice thermoplastic sheath to it. And then it's got this belt clip on there so we can hang it from the side of our body if we want to. But I want to see the blade itself, so let's go ahead and open this up and check out the blade. Oh, weird. Okay. So now I know why you named it the Midnight Tracker Karambit, because it almost looks like a tracker knife. I mean, we've got the Karambit style blade, but then we've got this little straight edge here. So when we're holding it, I guess if we're holding it in forward grip, I'm going to go ahead and slide my pinky finger into the ring on the pommel. And then I've got pretty good placement here in forward grip. But then if I slide my hand up so my forefinger's in the choil of the blade, all of a sudden I've got this little thumb rise here that actually has jimping on it. So I can get better control to use that straight edge there for things like whittling or peeling the bark off of a branch. So I can see this as being a really good survival type knife as well. Now, if we take a closer look at the blade, we can see that it's made from a 3CR13 stainless steel with a black finish. And that blade goes full tang through the scales of the handle and into the pommel. And then we can see that the blades themselves are very sharp and the tip is super sharp. I actually want to test that out really quick. Oh yeah, that's definitely sharp. That didn't feel very comfortable though on this thumb rise here, so I'm actually going to bring my hand up a little bit and put it on this jimping and see if that's a little more comfortable. Oh yeah, that's much more comfortable. Now in reverse grip, it's kind of interesting. Because of the shape of this pommel, I actually have really good control of this knife because I can actually slide my thumb there and get good momentum with, oh yeah. But I actually want to try in an extended grip just to see how that works. Okay, I'm able to transition to extended grip just fine, but here's the problem with this. If we look at how I just transitioned to an extended grip, you can see that this little tiny nook down here went into my finger. It looks to me like they wanted to add a little bottle cap opener there, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense with this knife. And then I actually want to test this out just a little bit because of that straight edge. So let's see, I'm just going to try grinding into this Wing Chun dummy a little bit. Oh yeah, look how that just peels that off. So that would be really, really nice in a survival setting. Now if we look at the handle of this knife, we can see that the scales are made from some sort of thermoplastic, but they're actually extremely comfortable on my hand. Now the total length of this knife is approximately 9 inches. This Karambit blade here is approximately 2 5/8 inches, and this straight edge blade here is approximately 1 inch. And the total weight is approximately 5.3 ounces. So that's a very nice weight for this Karambit. But that's about all I have to say about this, so let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our next dark and stealthy weapon. All right, Amanda, what is our very next stealth weapon?
There you go.
Thank you so much. All right, let's see what this is. It's a smaller box, so I'm always curious what's in a smaller box. Okay. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Okay, so our next weapon is The carbon fiber knuckle dusters. Awesome, awesome. Oh, I love these things so much. But one thing I want to state is these are only available on combative.com. And then another thing is the laws against knuckle dusters are extremely strict, so make sure you check your local laws to make sure you're not doing anything wrong with these things. And I know what you're asking yourself. Hey Kyle, why would I want a pair of carbon fiber knuckle dusters when I could just as easily go buy a pair of steel knuckle dusters or brass knuckle dusters? And I'm going to tell you why. Carbon fiber is actually stronger than steel, so these things are going to hold up just magnificently. Plus, they're much, much lighter than steel, so that's definitely a benefit to them. Plus, there's no metal in them, so that's pretty nice, and they are corrosion resistant. So many benefits to using carbon fiber. But let's just take a look at one of these. So first off, we've got the standard carbon fiber knuckle dusters. And these guys just look like standard knuckle dusters. They've got the 4-finger holes, they've got kind of rounded knuckles on top. Actually super comfortable in my hand. You can see that the inner diameter of these circles are approximately 1 inch by 1.5 inches. So they're gonna fit you even if you have very big hands. Now, one thing I always like to talk about when I talk about knuckle dusters is that there are a couple of different ways to use them. You can either kind of ride them up higher on your knuckles and punch with them, or you can put them a little bit lower on your knuckles and swipe with them. And the way you use them depends on the size of your hand, the style of knuckle duster, and how large this palm grip is. So I'm actually going to test this out really quick. First off, I'm going to kind of slide it high up on my knuckles and try striking with it in the punch fashion. I'm going to hold my foot down on this wing chun dummy so I can actually give it a good strike. Okay, that hurt. That actually dug right into my palm there, which is not good. That's how you hurt your palm very badly, so that's obviously not the way I'm going to want to use this one. So I'm actually going to slide it up, bring it up here, and then drag it into my hand that way and try swiping with it. So we'll see how that feels. Oh yeah, that doesn't hurt at all. I'm actually able to give it a good... Yeah, that feels good. I actually like that a lot. So the total length of these is approximately 4 5/8 inches. The total width is about 2 3/4 inches, and the total weight is only 3.5 ounces. So that is so much lighter than a standard pair of knuckle dusters. And you can see that the thickness of these is only 1/2 inches, which is really nice because then they'll fit in your pocket really easily. But again, don't carry these around without checking your local laws because you can get into a lot of trouble. Now let's look at the second knuckle duster. Okay, so this guy is a little bit different. You can see it's much smaller. The thing I kind of like the most about it is because it's so small and because it's got this little keychain or lanyard hole there, we can hook it to our key ring and then it'll fit nicely in our pocket. But let's take a closer look at this. So first off, we can see that it only has 2 holes there for your finger, and these holes are a little bit different. They're rounded and they're only about a 1-inch diameter. So that fits my fingers really nicely, but if you have enormous hands, you might want to take that into consideration. But I want to test this thing out. I want to see which way works best to strike with this thing. So first off, I'm going to ride it up high on my knuckle and try striking that way. Okay, that actually felt okay. It wasn't as painful as the previous one, but I want to try riding it up on the knuckle and swipe with it. Oh, okay. So for both of these knuckle dusters, the swipe is definitely better. That's not hurting my hand at all, but you're going to want to test it out for yourself because it does depend on your hand size as well. So the total length of these is approximately 2 3/4 inches. The width is approximately 2 1/2 inches, and it only weighs about 2.2 ounces. But once again, they are only available on combative.com. But that's about all I have to say about these, so I'm going to go ahead and put these away, and let's move on to our next stealth weapon. All right, Amanda, what do you have next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, and our next weapon is the hand-forged short sword. Awesome, awesome. First off, you can tell that it's got a really nice black leather sheath. And this is definitely a heavy-duty sheath and a very nice heavy-duty belt loop on there, so you could hang it from the side of your body if you wanted to. But I want to see the sword itself, so let's go ahead and open this up. I'm not really liking this, Amanda, I have to be honest. The blade I know the blade is supposed to be curved, but this blade is not curved very nicely. This is hand forged from carbon steel, but the thing that's bothering me the most about this is how thin it is. It doesn't fit my hand very nicely, and it looks like the manufacturer says that this is a leather wrapped handle, but that's just like a piece of leather or even vinyl tape that's around there. We've got this D-guard here, which I really like D-guards, but one concern with this D-guard is that if I did have to strike with the D-guard, I'm worried that I don't have enough grip here, so my hand's just gonna kind of fall to the side a little bit. So let's just test that out really quick. Ah! It did exactly that. It jumped to the side and then it hit my finger right there on the Wing Chun dummy. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. My other concern is because this is such a thin handle, what if I went to stab with it and my hand just slid up into here? I think that's going to hurt quite a bit. So I'm just going to try stabbing with it and see if that's actually a problem. Ah! Yeah, it actually was. Look what happened to my finger up there. It stuck into that groove. Yeah, it's actually, actually got hurt a little bit. So I don't know. I'm going to try striking with this and see how much shock absorption I have because there's just not much wrap here on the handle. Okay, I mean, it's actually doing some damage to the Wing Chun dummy. And the blade doesn't seem to be getting hurt. But that actually, okay, look at this. Look what happened there. When I was doing that, the wrap just kind of rolled down onto the handle further. I'm just not liking this thing. I'm just going to be honest. We got to get a second opinion on this. Amanda, can you come up here and just tell me what you think of this thing?
All right. So I've been looking for swords and weapons that are kind of more unique, but I kind of am in agreement with Kyle. This does not seem very comfortable. Definitely not. I'm not even going to try stabbing with it. Kyle already proved that. Honestly, with all its great features, like the leather case, the carbon steel, just everything else isn't really great about it, unfortunately.
Okay, so what do you think? Should we... I personally don't think we should sell this thing. I think we should just put it to the wayside, hang it on the wall. I mean,
Yes,
we could
we'll
definitely
have a
hang
nice
it on the
wall
wall.
hanger.
But I just don't want to sell things I don't like, guys. Let's just make an executive decision and say we're not going to sell this thing. Okay, good, good. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our next weapon.
All right.
All right, Amanda, what do you have next for me today?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, interesting. Okay, so our next weapon is the Dark Gladius Dagger. Okay, I like that name. Okay, interesting. So first off, we can see that this has a really nice heavy-duty nylon sheath to it, and it's got a belt loop on there so we can hang it from the side of our body if we want, but I want to see the blade itself. So let's go ahead and open this up. Ah, that makes sense. So if you've ever seen a Roman gladius sword, you know that they kind of have this kind of style look to them where they've got this double-sided blade that's great for chopping, and then it's also got this very sharp tip that's great for stabbing. So this is just a miniature version of that, and I think it's actually going to make a really, really nice dagger. So let's just take a closer look at this. The blade is made from a 1065 high carbon steel. 1065 high carbon steel is known for being a very tough steel with excellent wear resistance, and it's also very easy to sharpen. So I actually really like 1065 high carbon steel. The other thing I notice about this knife is it's got a very comfortable handle to it. It looks like this is made from some sort of thermoplastic with a rubberized grip to it, but it's extremely comfortable in my hand. I have a feeling it's going to have good shock absorption, and because of its rubberized grip, I'm going to have very good control of it. Now the blade itself is sharp. The tip is definitely sharp. The other thing I notice is on the back of the pommel, we've got this pommel spike back there, and it's got this lanyard hole back here, so we could add a wrist strap if we wanted to, but honestly, I probably wouldn't add a wrist strap because I like having that little pommel spike available for an additional weapon. Now the blade itself goes full tang all the way through the handle and down to this pommel spike, but I actually want to really test this out, make sure it's going to hold up nicely for us. I'm going to chop into one of these little Wing Chun arms right here because they are very dense. So let's just see if that A, hurts my hand, or B, hurts the blade. So let's just test that out. Oh yeah, that actually, that took a big chunk out of that arm. And let's look at the blade. It was hitting right there. and there's 0 damage to this blade at all. So that's actually really nice. Let's try stabbing with it for a while because I want to really test out that tip. Okay, now if you look, I stabbed that in pretty darn deep right there. Tip is absolutely fine. I'm going to actually stab it a bunch of times just to really test it out. Oh yeah, that tip's holding up just beautifully. Now the overall length is approximately 9.5 inches. The blade length is approximately 4 7/8 inches, and the total weight is about 4.9 ounces. So that is a really nice weight for this knife. But that's about all I have to say about this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next stealth weapon. All right, Amanda, what is our last weapon today?
Here you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this guy is. Oh, wow, this is awesome. All right, so our last weapon of the day is the Black Ops Trench Knife. Awesome, awesome. Oh, wow, this thing is nuts. So first off, you can see that it's got this really nice heavy-duty nylon sheath. And this is actually a really nice sheath. I like some of the little characteristics of it. You can see that it's got a Velcro belt loop on there, which is really, really an excellent feature because I can't stand when I have to take off my belt to hook on a knife, but I want to see the blade itself. So let's go ahead and check that out. Look at that. I mean, that is just the most intimidating looking blade. So the blade itself is made from a 1065 high carbon steel. The handguard is made from a cast metal, but that is like a really heavy duty cast metal. So I think that's going to hold up really nicely. In fact, we're definitely going to test that out. And then it's also got this thermoplastic back here that's going to help with shock absorption. And then this crazy looking pommel spike back there. So that's going to be great for additional strikes. But let's take a look at the blade first. So the blade is super sharp, and then look how prominent that tanto tip angle is there. But we've got to test out this blade first because I do want to see how well this sticks into something. So let's go ahead, use that on the Wing Chun dummy. I mean, that thing is in there pretty darn deep. Very, very nice. I'm going to try this in reverse grip too. I'm actually curious how well this works in reverse grip. Oh, wow, it's actually really nice. I can stick my thumb right on that pommel spike, and my finger fits in that just beautifully. So, wow, I can get some excellent, excellent momentum with this. I love this thing. I actually want to test out this knuckle portion as well, though, just to see how comfortable it is, because it does have this little thermoplastic palm grip on it. So let's go ahead and strike with that a little bit. I mean, I'm striking that thing hard. I'm holding the base of this Wing Chun dummy down with my foot, and my hand is not hurting at all. But let's test out this pommel spike too, all right? Yep, no damage at all. Now the blade is clearly full tang, and we can tell that because there's pins that go all the way through the handle. So you can tell that the blade goes all the way down to this pommel spike down there. But I want to test it a little bit by slicing just to make sure that the blade doesn't get loose on us in any way. So let's go ahead and test that. So I was hitting it pretty darn hard, and the blade is still in perfect condition. So I think this thing's going to hold up just beautifully for you. But because this is a trench knife, it's very important that you check your local laws just to make sure you're not doing anything wrong. Now, the overall length of this is approximately 13 inches. The blade length is about 7 3/8 inches, and the total weight is about 1 pound 3 ounces. But that's about all I have to say about this. But I'm very curious to see what you guys think. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. And if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of amazing weapons on there right now. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.